Good morning. So I'm just sitting here. I'm at my computer, and I'm just sitting here going over. I'm going to upload a couple of videos, and I'm going over messages that people wrote me, and I wanted to respond to them. So one message I got is that somebody said that I came up in their feed that I'm gorgeous, and that was the first message I opened, and so that was a nice way to open up the morning. I got up early. I meditated. I went for a walk with the dogs. I didn't feel like talking. But I just got another message with somebody that wrote me about, there was a video I put up about questioning myself and hurting on the twin flame journey. And I was telling about being a helper, or maybe that was in a different movie. I was telling about a different video that I was telling about being a helper, and then we went out to eat, and somebody wrote into me that I need to find self-love, and that he's treating me poorly and allowing me to do his work for him, which I didn't really do any work for him, but it was mostly him taking me on a fun day. I think on a fun day that was kind of disguised as, well, we also got to go and see, it was just a fun day. That's all it was. But anyway, and I can see the perspective. I can see the perspective. I can see that. And that is something that I'm also bouncing back and forth. And I'm just sitting down to write her, and I was telling her, I can see what she's saying. And I really do appreciate, writing in and telling me honestly, like, wake up, wake up. This is a bad situation. It's a toxic situation. You're like settling, and see, the way that I see it is, first of all, I have that perspective. Like, that's one of the storylines that's going on in my head, is like, come on, wake up. That's the 3D storyline. That's what's going on in the 3D, is just exactly that. I'm being like strung along and being fed crumbs and not being important, but of no fault of his, right? Because you're not going to make somebody feel what they don't feel. I was going to go get coffee, but I have coffee still. You can't expect somebody to feel something that they don't feel, and you can't force it on somebody. And the way that I feel is that I just care for him, and I want to be around him. I like being around him. I like having his presence in my life, his guidance, his being. And that by getting over the attraction, then he's doing it. Like, if I didn't have expectations, right, or the want for more than just a friendship, which is what he is offering me, then going with him on a trip to if it was a girlfriend offering me to go with her, and then her taking me out to eat, that would be perfectly acceptable. It wouldn't be the same. The only reason that this perspective is even relevant is because of my expectations. If I didn't have expectations of more than a friendship, then there would be nothing wrong with him inviting me along for a day trip and taking, the and besides that, I feel I have like that storyline going on also, that he knows how I feel about him and he allows it to continue. But at the same time, we do have a valuable friendship, and he did tell me that he values our time together. So I know that he does value our friendship. And I can also, in recent times, maybe in the beginning I couldn't all the way see what he was getting from the relationship, but now I can. I see what he gets from the relationship, and how he's also growing, and how he's doing his work with me, and I'm doing my work with him. So that is what. So regardless if he is in a romantic relationship with me, or if he's holding me far away on the romantic side, and he wants other women I had a friend, have a friend, he's still a friend. We're kind of out of contact for the last maybe year. But he was my closest friend for about 8, 9 years, a man. And he had girlfriends, and I had boyfriends, and we were still really good friends. And we would meet up with our girlfriends and boyfriends. So, it's doable. If I am able to overcome, when I overcome the attraction, it's doable. And this morning I was thinking to myself, I had these thoughts that as long as he is in that space, that I can't have anybody else in that space. And I was thinking to myself, well, if I keep telling myself that story, but I can change that story. It's allowing the things to take their course. And what I'm also thinking that I also wanted to say about this is that him as a person, without forget about the connection, how I'm all over the place with the connection, up and down and up and down. It's because of my expectation, because I want more out of the relationship, maybe. And I don't even know what I would do with more of that relationship. That's the truth. Like, yeah, maybe I would. But it has to be something gradual, like, because it's so. But in any case, he put it right out there. He put it right out there in front of his mother and his son. And so all that's left for me to do is just face it. Really. Just release all expectations and just allow what to be. Right now, I feel like with this thing that happened on Friday, now is Monday, I feel like I went through something. And it loosened something in me, but I'm still settling. It's like mixing coffee and everything comes up and then you have to wait for it to settle. I feel like it's still settling. I feel like. And then I saw him again on Saturday at the beach. And he said another thing to me that kind of brought everything home for me. He said, because he asked me how that conversation was on Friday, and I gave him a little bit of my input on how it was, and I told him that he was also easy on me. Because he was really hard on his mother. And I get it. And he got after me too in the same conversation. And for my role in everything that went down. And from his perspective, from any perspective, he's right. And what I was going to say about him, she also wrote about my son, like an example for my son. He is he's worthy. I think that something in the story wasn't told right, because I'm looking at, I was just reading. It said that he brought me to meet with his child and his mother and the woman that he's truly into. And it wasn't like that at all. It wasn't like that. We went, all of us together, and we always go to meetings and we meet people and we talk and we mingle and we interact with people. And I was also interacting there with people and talking with people. And he was talking to this woman, and then he offered her if she wanted to go also to the Robroi. And then when we got to the Robroi, she just went around and did her own thing. But there was that big drama around the whole thing, which was just lovely. I find, like, in this twin flame journey, I can see the rising, because every meeting like that, even the meeting on Saturday, I was going to finish saying what he told me on Saturday, because I told him that I could see that he was easier on me. And he said, yeah, because it's like I'm interchangeable. Like, we're not really family. And so if we don't like each other, we can just quit seeing each other. You know, if he gets sick of me, then he doesn't have to see me anymore, but he has to see his mother and his child because they're his family. And then I got stuck on that. I got, like, upset on that. And I told him, well, wait a minute. Like, you always say that we're like family. He said, yeah, like family, but we're not family. Which is true. And so it's another point of, like, but all of those points make me stronger. Okay, so it's like he's keeping the friendship in this point of balance. Like, there's no attachment. It's not like I can attach onto you, that's it, we're family. No. There's, like, this hovering mode. And we're really good friends when we're together. But there's no obligation. It's all just like this. As long as it's fun, it's fun. I've heard Abraham, as long as it's good, it's good. And the truth is, that's how any relationship is. I was married for 20 years. That's how any relationship is. When it's not good anymore, you get up and you leave. When it's your parents, you don't. But even my husband was shocked when I left. Shocked. It took him years to get over it. And that's also another thing that I was going to say here. And to this, I'm pretty sure it's a woman who wrote to me, and I really appreciate it. I really do appreciate the writing in and giving me your input. And I can feel that it comes from a place of passion, like compassion for me and to me. And I am a strong woman, because she wrote here that I need to find self-love. I am. I have self-love, self-worth. I'm working on this. This is my life passion. And I feel like I'm the strongest I've ever been in my life, and that this that is something I'm going to write. Empowering. That this relationship with him, at the same time that it breaks me, this relationship is empowering, because of the hardships. And that's what I feel like. This relationship is making me stronger and stronger and stronger because of everything that I'm having to overcome. I can see, like, I look back, Google's really good for that. They give you, like, memories, and they pull up, like, memories from a year ago, and it reminds me of that place and that space that I was in that meeting or that time. and how far I have come from where I was. And I also trust him. He's a guide for life. Not only for me, but that's what he does. He guides people. People come and pay him for advice and guidance. And everything that I go through, like that day that we took it was like a reward. It was like a reward day, but it felt like a celebration day. Like we were celebrating some kind of building block, like some kind of something we overcame, like one up, Annie, or maybe like one up before the big douche ball fest. Because this weekend it was like in your gut. It's like a punch to your gut, my gut. And I feel like there's on these different timelines that are going on, like there's the part that is connecting me, that I'm feeling more and more and more connected to him. But the more I feel connected to him, the bigger the bangs that I get. Because I was thinking about, if he would have said, if that whole situation with his mother would have gone down, even, let's say, if it went down in the beginning, when I first met him and I didn't feel so attached to him, I don't know if, like, that might have been, it feels like I'm gradually being, like, brought into this empowerment. Like I get little bangs, bang, bang, bang. And every little bang, it breaks like a glass roof, glass roof. Overcoming jealousies, overcoming, when you overcome a jealousy, you overcome trying to hold anybody in place. You can overcome, you overcome your own weakness, because jealousy is trying to hold somebody else in place so that I can feel a certain way. When you overcome jealousy, it's like allowing things to be as they are. And it doesn't mean anything about your self-worth. So it's exactly the opposite. See, there's two storylines going on here. There's the storyline where, yeah, he's being a total douche twat. He's being a douche twat. And then there's the storyline, like that's the like super superficial, in the 3D mode, all caught up. Like I'm there a lot of time. I'm there. It's not, that it's humanoid mode. It's this 3D mode, which is part of life. It's this being mode. And then I have the other part of me that I just see the genius of it. It's like every time I get hooked in more, then I get like a bigger dish, pile of crap to eat, let's say. The more you eat crap, the bigger piles of crap you can eat. It's like you become sustainable. You become... See, I feel like on one hand, I'm becoming way more like my skin is becoming thick like an elephant, and on the other hand, I'm becoming softer and softer and softer, and I think that the softness is because of the elephant skin, because I know that I can endure all of these. Oh. Because I can endure so much pain now. And this is the twin flame journey. And I've had people write in and tell me, the twin flame journey isn't real. The twin flame journey. Whoever's on the twin flame journey, there's like no doubt. There's absolutely zero doubt because it's so overwhelming, and it not only opens you up into this, throwing you into this twin flame journey, but just the fact that the twin flame journey exists and that you see it, all of a sudden I'm remembering past lives. And I mean, it like hits you in this mystical way, and these different worlds and different realms that were always there. You realize they were always there, but all of a sudden you speak their language. All of a sudden you can recognize them because the door has been open. And then there's this awakening, which is going in between. It's like going in between the old ways of thinking and the new ways of being. And it's like a passing over. And the passing over, there's glitches where you slide back down, you go back up, you slide back down, you go back up. And I can see his guidance. And then I think to myself, it's like, you have to save yourself. You have to go inside of yourself and fix yourself and complete yourself within yourself. But he is like it's like a looking glass. It's like having this mirror of myself, but it's like the purest mirror. It's like looking into a mirror of myself and seeing all the crap that's on top of my pure self, because it hits up against him, because we're of the same essence. So when I look at the reflection of myself in him, which is also like, it's not only a reflection of myself, it's like this, it's almost like a glove for my hand. It's almost like pure opposite, but exactly the same at the same time. And it's like exactly fitting. So if it fits exactly, and I have a whole bunch of crap on my hand's not going to fit in there. So I have to clean all the crap. And so it's like having this wall, and he's done the self-work. He's done self-work. He has had a life. When I first met him, it's funny how we do prejudgments. When I first met him, before I met him in person, I met him online, and I saw a little bit about his story. He has a really unique life story. And I thought to myself, somebody that grew up like that has got to be a little bit screwy. No matter how much work you do, something at the base there, because his life story began from birth. He was born to, his father was on the autistic, and was on the autistic spectrum, and his mother has mental disabilities. Would be what you would call it. She's on a spiritual level, intuitively, she is one of the most connected people. She can see pure. It's like the mind of a child is genius. It's like the mind of a child sees things so simple that she just sees them as they are. And she can just see all the crap on top of everything else. It's like genius. And he grew up with that. And so that also gives him that insight and that look, but it also gives him, there's so many things that it gives him as gifts that I see later on, like having to make your own person because your parents don't provide for you that shell of the way that you are supposed to be, because he can't be like them. He's different than them. And so then he has that, he doesn't have that outer shell or protection, even, protection that parents give you, or help thinking in a certain way. You know, he had to create that and go through the thought processes in himself and understand the world through his own understanding and feeling. And he's super sensitive, super sensitive to emotions, and all of his senses are he's hypersensitive. And not only hypersensitive in understanding situations, but he also writes situations, and he reads people's archetypes. It's like he has this super talent, natural ability to read situations and read people, and he's way like archetypes. He can see somebody and see what they're doing and read their intentions, their energy, the way that they move, the way that they talk, and it's like that. And so he provides this mirror not only for me, but that's why he's a life guide. That's what he does. He provides this mirror for, and looking in a mirror, looking in a looking glass is not always fun. Sometimes it can be really fun when your highlights are being pointed out to you, the places that you bring light into the world. And I think that's what keeps drawing me back, is that it also that, but also the self-work that I'm doing, because it's so satisfying when you overcome jealousy, or you overcome yourself, your weaknesses, you know, where I can overcome the want to be with him just so that I can be with him and be his friend, and we can sit around and laugh because it's the funnest with him. Like, and so I'm bringing myself to this point where I can just be with him without expectations and allow him and want for him the best for him, whatever that is. You know, if he has this kinky side that he wants to go and do all sorts of little kinky, whatever he wants to do. I'm not saying he does. I'm just saying if he does, he can go do whatever he wants. And then I can live it up on many different angles. So I can have him in my life, which is what I want. And actually, if we're able to like substantiate a good friendship, not a couple, yeah, because couples break up. You can see that in my other relationships. I had a few different relationships, and the people aren't in my, well, they're in my life. Like all of the boyfriends that I've had since my marriage, all of them remain as friends in my life. But it's not like a friendship where we're always. But this is a friendship, and I value our friendships. But this is a friendship that I really value, and I really do want him in my life. So, and would I take him only as a friend, even if there is no romance in it? Yes. Yes, I would. And so then I'm open. I have him, then if when the friendship is established, then, and I let go and allow things just to be how they will be, then there is no pressure around it. And eventually, when I can trust that, because I have trust issues. That's, I think, one of the things that with him that I'm working on is trust. Trust that he'll be there even. Trust that I can count on him. Right now, if I'm honest, I'm still working on the trust. Like, I trust him as a person, but do I trust him that I can rely on him, like trust him as like lean on him in any way? I don't think so. I don't know. Like, there's parts of me that say that, yeah. There's parts of me that say that he has proved it to me again and again and again. That he'll show up right when I'm at the edge of the cliff and ready to fall off. Then all of a sudden he shows up. I feel like it's divinely guided. Like, there's parts of this that there's no way. You know, when you start seeing signs, and that was something that I have this person that I follow on YouTube. I think Sacred Soul Rising or something like that. And she talks a lot about twin flames, and she channels messages and the things that she, and I listen to her sometimes sometimes I avoid it like the plague because I'm just not into it, because I just want to be in my life and want to forget about it for a second. And then sometimes it gives, when I do feel the draw, or she'll show up and then I'll listen to something that she says, it'll like, oh yeah, it'll give me like a relief for a minute. So I see how things are exact. But she was talking about the twin flame journey and how there's a lot of people asking, oh, is this my twin flame? Is that my twin flame? Or, you know, and she said something that I also like really resonated with me. When you're on this twin flame journey, there's really no question about it. There's really no question about it. It's so far out of this world that you don't have to question. And I said that in another video, and my one friend told me there are times when you question it. And that's true. It's true, because I already recognize it within myself that there's times that you're like, what? Is it real? Is it? But if you don't know, like if there aren't solid, because there's most of the time, you know, I start questioning it when I really start getting fed up with it and I want out of it and I feel hurt and abandoned and I just want something else and I want it to stop. And then I start thinking, well, maybe it's just, you know, me. Another thing is that, you know, like even, when was it, on Saturday we were together? People are always telling us that we look alike, him and I. We do. There's something about us that is just like we look alike. So, I want to pull a tarot card. How do I do this? Let's see. Don't like. How's about that? That's good. Okay, so 3 cards came out. The Ace of Cups, Temperance, and the Ace of Wands. Okay, so let's look them up. Temperance is 14. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay, temperance. Economy, moderation, frugility, management, accommodation. A winged angel with the sign of the sun upon its forehead and on his breast, and the square triangle of the serpentary. I speak of him in the masculine sense, but the figure is neither male nor female. It is held to be pouring the essence of life from chalice to chalice, like from one of those things to things. It is. He has one put upon the earth and one upon the waters, thus illustrating the nature of essences. A direct path goes up to certain heights on the verge of the horizon, and above there is a great light through which a crown is seen vaguely. Hereof is some part of the secret of the eternal life, as it is possible to man in his incarnation. Oh, wow. That's like heaven on earth. It's exactly that. You see this here? It came out, it started up here, and then it just came down yesterday. It's like I say, and I didn't get any, like nothing happened. And it's like this, it's like a blood tear. I've been crying so much. That's what I feel like it came into physical mode. It's called the temperance fantastically, because when the rule of it obtains in our consciousness, it tempers, combines, and harnesses the psychic and material natures. That's good. It's just what I'm talking about. What I was thinking about this morning is combining the worlds, because it's like with this, like I was talking about with the twin flame journey out, this other realm, this whole world opened up. It's like the mystical realm. And it's like when you can bring the two worlds into one, see, that's the glitches. The glitches are they're running back and forth. They're going in between this world and seeing things as they are. It also connects up to that note that I got. And and seeing the higher value in things. Like there are reasons why I'm a strong woman. I've managed businesses. I've built businesses. I've learned things. I have 4 kids. I went through a divorce. I live on my own. I'm a strong woman. I always feel attractive. I have, those things aren't issues. And there are reasons for everything. And there's a reason why I keep getting drawn back. And I feel like on this twin flame journey, it's like the carrot and the stick. It's like there's a carrot and a stick, carrot and a stick, carrot and a stick. And there's a balance. There's some kind of like, if the suffering becomes more than the pleasure, then you leave. It's like, and I think, or when it becomes in a place where you don't want that anymore, you're tired of it, it's just like a snap. That's how it was with my divorce also. There's something that snaps. And then of course it's a process, right? A process of letting go. But there's a snap in there. Like an instigator. So the psychic and material natures, under that rule, we know in our rational parts something of whence we came, and whither we are going. Okay, well, I'm not going to read the other two, but the other two are Ace of Cups. I'll read them to myself afterwards. And the Ace of Wands. So, okay, I'm going to look them up. The Ace of Cups. Cups, Ace. The waters are beneath. The waters are beneath, upon which are water lilies. The hand issues from the clouds, holding in its palm the cup from which 4 streams are pouring. A dove bearing it in its beak, a cross-marked host, descends to place the water in the cup. The dew of water is falling on all sides. It is intimation of that which may lie behind the lesser arcana. Divinatory meaning, like divine meaning. True heart, joy, contentment, abode, nourishment, abundance, fertility, holy table, felicity. Okay, nice. And the Ace of Wands. Pentacles, Cups, Wands. Okay. The Ace of Wands. A hand issuing from the cloud grasps a stout wand or cup. Divinatory meaning, creation, invention, enterprise. The powers which result in these: principle, beginning, source, birth, family, origin. The beginning of enterprises, according to another account, money, fortune, inheritance. Yay! Yay! The Ace of Wands. Well, yay to all of them. But the Ace of Wands is something I'm really working on. I'm glad that I went ahead and read that. The Ace of Wands is something that I'm really working on. I'm happy that I opened that up. Okay, very good. So I'm going to get busy in this day. So thank you for watching.